Cup guy here. Hey, you guys are going to want to stay tuned and watch this entire video all the way through. You're not going to believe what I'm getting ready to show you guys. First of all, let me just say this. August 27th, 1965, the Beatles drove out to Elvis's Bel Air mansion in California and met the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. I've got some very rare photos to show you guys of that meeting and some very rare video of Elvis and the Beatles. I bet you guys haven't seen this. And at the very end of the video, I have a special unboxing, Elvis related. And man, when I unbox this thing and show it to you, you're not going to believe it. You're going to be pretty impressed. So anyway, hang tight and it's going to all start now. All right, what you guys are looking at now is some very rare black and white reenactment footage of the Beatles when they went to go visit Elvis Presley at his Bel Air mansion in California, August 27th, 1965. Now, the Beatles and Brian Epstein, their manager, had tried to arrange it with Colonel Parker to meet Elvis when they first came to the U.S. back in February of 1964, but the Beatles' touring schedule and Elvis's movie commitments did not allow it to happen. Now, there are varying accounts of what all took place at this historic meeting back in August of 1965, but most people there and the Beatles can agree on a few different things that did happen for sure. They all agreed on this. Number one, Elvis was playing on the jukebox a song by Charlie Rich over and over again, and it was called Mohair Sam. That was Elvis's favorite song at the time, and he played it over and over and over again, okay? Number two, when the Beatles walked in, they noticed that they saw that Elvis was watching TV on a big color TV, and they had never seen a remote control before, and Elvis was using the remote control to turn the channels, and they were amazed by that. Now, they also all agreed that this took place when they walked in, they sat down. I think George Harrison was cross-legged on the floor in front of Elvis, and Paul was on one side, and John and Ringo were on the other side of Elvis, and they just sat there and looked at Elvis, just stared at him, starstruck, okay, in awe of their idol. And Elvis turned to them and said, "Look, if you guys are just going to sit here all night and stare at me, I'm going to go on to bed." And then everybody kind of laughed, and that broke the ice. And they all also had the same story account that Elvis broke out some instruments, that he had the guys bring in some instruments, and Elvis was playing the bass. And I assumed that Paul McCartney was maybe playing the bass and showing Elvis, or they were showing each other how they play. John Lennon was on guitar. And something I read, Ringo said that Elvis told him, "Hey, we don't have any drums. We forgot them and left them in Memphis," okay? So that is another thing that they all corroborated on, but they said they had a great time with Elvis, and they talked about music and all that kind of stuff. And about 10:15 p.m. Pacific time, Elvis had Priscilla come down, and I think it was John Lennon said she was all dressed up, and it was like she looked like a doll that Elvis was just kind of presenting to show the Beatles, his girlfriend. She wasn't, they weren't engaged at the time, and to let Priscilla meet the Beatles. There's a photo of all the Beatles right there, and there's Priscilla in one of those photos. And hey, the thing at the very end of the video is related to Priscilla, okay, that unboxing. But anyway, it was just a historic moment, and Paul McCartney talks about it all the time, and they were just in awe of Elvis. And later on in the evening, George Harrison and Ringo Starr went down to the pool table and played pool, and Brian Epstein and Colonel Parker went to the game room and played roulette, okay? So anyway, that is just some of the things. There's a lot of accounts of what all happened that night. They said they played bass line. Elvis played the bass line with Paul to a Cilla Black song, but the Beatles were just really awestruck to meet their idol, Elvis Presley. And it was just really a historic meeting. And like you saw a little earlier, some fans that had gathered outside. There were a few hundred fans outside. A few of them managed to take some photos. And you saw, John and George and Paul. And you saw Elvis and some of the other people there that were at the Bel Air mansion there in California back on August 27th, 1965. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing those rare photos of Elvis and the Beatles that were taken August 27th, 1965. Also, I hope you got a kick out of that footage, that rare footage of Elvis and the Beatles jamming there at Elvis's mansion. Now, as promised, I've got an unboxing for you guys, Elvis related. You're going to trip out when I show it to you. But before I get to that, I just want to thank you guys for watching this entire video all the way through. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified whenever I put on a new video. So anyway, without any further delay, an unboxing. You guys are going to trip out. You're going to be like, where in the heck did the Elvis Cup guy get this thing? But anyway, until next time, this is the Elvis Cup guy, and check out what I'm getting ready to show you guys. It's coming up now. All right, what you guys are looking at now is the 1962 edition of the General H.H. Arnold High School yearbook. And this high school was located in Wiesbaden, Germany. All right, now, I mentioned earlier in the video that this would be an unboxing, but it was just really too difficult to try to pull this big yearbook out of the box and film it with one hand. So I went ahead and cheated a little bit and got it out of the box. But anyway, I'm opening it up here so you can see the kind of like the title page. It says Deutsch Days, Wiesbaden, and it says General H.H. Arnold High School. Now, you may be wondering to yourself, why is this considered Elvis memorabilia, okay? Well, I'm getting ready to show you right now. Let me flip the page and you're going to see what the tie-in is to Elvis Presley, okay? So let me flip the page here and you're going to see it here in just a second. Here we go. Look at that, right in the middle of the screen. Priscilla Presley, known back then as Priscilla Beatles. So I'm going to show you this yearbook, some of the photos in here, and there are 3 different photos of Priscilla. This one's the obvious one, but there's 2 others. You see if you can find them. But anyway, while I'm showing you that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her time in high school. Priscilla Beatles grew up as an Air Force brat attending junior high in the Del Valle Independent School District outside of Bergstrom Air Force Base in Austin, Texas. She attended high school at the General H.H. Arnold High School in Wiesbaden, Germany. You're looking at her junior yearbook right now. And she left only 8 weeks before her graduation of her senior year. She went to Memphis. In 1963, Priscilla Presley was enrolled in the Immaculate Conception High School in Memphis, Tennessee, to finish off her senior year. She was also supposed to live with Elvis's father, Vernon, and stepmother Dee in a separate house a few streets away from Graceland at 3650 Hermitage Drive in Memphis, Tennessee. However, Priscilla spent so much time at Graceland that her belongings were eventually moved there. But she had to graduate before she could follow Elvis out on the road and fully immerse herself in his lifestyle. On May 29, 1963, Priscilla finished her education. Elvis gave her as a graduation gift the hot car at the time. It was a 1964 brand new Chevrolet Corvair. So I'm going to give you a little timeline of Priscilla in school at this H.H. Arnold High School and what happened with her and Elvis and their relationship. June 17, 1962, Priscilla arrived in Los Angeles for a 2-week visit with Elvis. This happened after long negotiations between Elvis and Priscilla's parents. Priscilla was 17 years old at this time, and she visits Elvis from Germany. It was the first time they were to see each other since Elvis left Germany over 2 years before. They spent time in Las Vegas. Now, the next time they saw each other was December 19th, 62 through January 11th, 1963. Priscilla visited Elvis for the holidays in Memphis, only her second time seeing Elvis in the 60s. And the last time before she actually moved, Elvis records and films his 13th film, Fun in Acapulco. Priscilla moves to Memphis in early March 63 while Elvis is in Hollywood filming. She graduates from high school on May 29th, 1963. And shortly after she graduated, Priscilla Presley moved into Graceland against her father's wishes. I don't think he knew it at the time, but she kind of just lived there at Graceland. So anyway, there's Priscilla. Look, she was a volunteer there, an office assistant. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing Priscilla Presley's 1962 yearbook from Wiesbaden, Germany, when she was a junior in high school. You guys are probably wondering where in the heck I got that from. But anyway, at the very beginning of that clip, you saw her class photo where she was posing as a junior. And at the very end, you saw where she was a librarian office assistant where she volunteered. But hey, did you see the other photo of her? There is another photo in that little segment of Priscilla in that high school yearbook. So go back and check it out and see if you can find it. I'll give you a clue. It's on a page, there's a montage of pictures. But anyway, until next time, this is the Elvis Cup Guy. I'm out.